Good morning. My name is Lisa, and I call myself the Jolly Sorceress because I like to transform things. So this morning I'm showing you with great trepidation my 38-gallon tank that was formerly a goldfish tank. And you can see it's kind of a whole hodgepodge mess. Yeah, see the intake sponge on that hang back filter there, and what's going on here with the sponge and inline stuff hanging. So let me explain. This is my first YouTube video, my first video, and I've waited a long time to just sort of jump in. I've been waiting for exactly the right moment, for exactly the right camera, for my aquarium to be perfect enough to show everybody, and for my thoughts to be perfect and have a perfect idea and have the perfect equipment. And I realized I had a great big perfect nothing on my hands, so I'm just going to jump in with an imperfect something today. And I thank you for your patience with me. I'm a little bit nervous, so I'm just gonna move on. So the reason that I'm sharing this videos with you today and trying to launch a whole series of videos about my aquarium hobby is that I have really found that this has given me quite a bit of joy and peace, and I've discovered that a lot of other people have been using the aquarium hobby, whether they are aware of it or not, as a mindfulness exercise. And I think a lot of us have found that there's a great deal of healing and overcoming of trauma to be found in our aquarium hobbies. So I do consider myself a hobbyist. I am by no means an expert. Do have a background in floral design and botany, and I love gardening, and a little bit of hydroponic stuff. So I'm familiar with water chemistry and that kind of stuff in a very rough way. And I just really love doing this. So please take my advice and suggestions with a grain of salt, and I'll do my best to share accurate information with you. So this is my 38-gallon tank, and it's a bit of a mess. It was formerly home to a goldfish. One was a stunted goldfish, and one was a little bit of a show goldfish that needed to move to their own home in a different place. So this is my 38-gallon that will probably be my main display tank in my living room. And right now it's as is. It's pretty much how I had it for when the goldfish were in it. I didn't want to do much moving around until I had a good idea of what I wanted to do. And I've also moved in some fish that needed no home, and I'm really regretting I probably should have spent more time aquascaping before I move the fish, but this is where we are here. So these fish have been in here for about 3 weeks, and I've tried my best not to stress them out by doing anything new or different. The only thing I really did was put in the heater that wasn't there before the goldfish had an unheated tank. I was going to try and leave this unheated, but then I realized I was really limiting myself to some of the fish that I really enjoy. So this is just kind of like the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. And I've thrown in a bit of rock because I'm trying to figure what colors or what direction I want to go in with. And so you'll see this. This is one of my favorite rock. This is maple wood. And I love the color. I love the nooks and crannies. There's all kinds of space for things to grow, for fish to hide, and shrimp to kind of nibble on. There's some kabamba plant right there, and a needle fern. And over here, one of my favorite, this red rotala, which I love. So this is just very raw. I have done nothing with. I just want to kind of look at it and plan. So I thought I would show you my transformation process. So this is very raw and ugly and unedited, as you can see. I think what I might do is get rid of that hang on back filter eventually. Just go with the giant, there's a big spun filter there. I'm gonna monitor the water levels and see if I can pull that hanging back out. I'm shying more away from the hang on back lately because I'm really nervous about the aspect of the power outages and what can go wrong with that. I've had a couple incidents already that I was here to catch, and I'm just a little bit nervous about that. The area that I live in, there can often be power outages and storms, and so the idea of not being around and having and the power go off and on, and then it not being primed, and I don't know. I've got to kind of think about that one a bit. And I also just find I'm constantly having to clean the intake filter sponges and a lot more maintenance than I'd like. Whereas the sponge filters are really low maintenance, and I like the idea of having the large biological surface for them to to nibble on and for the water to pass through. But that's another story. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. In any case, I'll definitely move that heater over behind the filter in the corner there. And I'm thinking of putting my idea right now, after looking at the different types of rock I wanted to experiment with, the lava rock, I want to see what it looked like. In just with the fish and the colors, I don't really like it. I like it with something else, just not in here. A driftwood I put in because the killifish like it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I might just go with just rocks and rock hiding spots. And this is the river rock that was here around and from when the goldfish were here, and I like the way it looks, but I've got it in another tank, so I'm not sure. But what I am leaning towards is I kind of like this rock poking out here and back here. It looks a lot like the escarpment that I get to see every day where I live in Niagara escarpment in Canada. And I really like the way it looks, particularly in the fall. The fall colors right now are stunning. So the bright oranges and burgundies and yellows and greens and crimsons against the escarpment, which are kind of a fossil gray tone, look beautiful. And I'm looking towards doing something like that where I have like, let's see, where would I put that? So the rock coming like down like that, and then plant a space here, and then I'll do some planted things up here in all those different shades that I mentioned earlier of the fall tones. That's kind of where I'm leaning, and maybe create either a path or a river spot here, or an area of calm for the eye here or here. I haven't decided. And then some carpeting. I may put CO2 in this tank. Right now, all the plants are really easy to grow because the goldfish were are destroyers of everything. They're their own weapons of mass destruction, but they did manage to not too badly with that rotella, believe it or not, which was one of my favorite underwater plants. I'm not crazy about that Java fern there. It's interesting, and I might be able to do something with it. So there's a lot of really common, nothing special in here you could see, only because I like the easy maintenance of it. I'm going to try and keep this as low maintenance as I can, but I do like CO2, and I'm going to try and see what I can do within here. I like the carpeting aspect of it. So this is my first video of this tank and where I'm going to be putting it and what I'm going to be doing with it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. So I'll give you a quick shot of the fish. These are some wild green neons, and I know they don't look like wild greens anymore. You're right. They were wild green neons that turned out to be a handful of red cardinals. The wild green are the really beautiful. You'll see just a simple blue indigo aquamarine line on them. It looked gorgeous against the green. And then what else? Oh, this is one of my favorite fish right now. That's a purple Harlequin Rasbora or black Harlequin Rasbora. And I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but the red, orange, copper glow is absolutely stunning. There you go. That's not bad. Oh, I wish I would get away from that filter. Let's go in closer if I can. But those colors are just beautiful. A neon orangey copper with the purple, and then what else? Anything else interesting? I think just ember tetras, and then some golden phantom tetras back there, which are pretty lively. I know they're kind of boring, but they're really lively fish. So that's my tank, and I'm just giving up, just jumping in. And thank you for spending time with me today, and I hope you enjoy this series.